Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Renee from Red Orchid Travel and Red Orchid Women's Travel Club. Welcome. I'd like to introduce Brenda to you, who is with Celebrity Cruises and my key account manager. She's been with Celebrity for quite a few long years and has been all over the world. Used to be a cruise director. So she has so much knowledge on the Celebrity brand, and I cannot wait for her to walk through our itinerary for June 13th to 21st, where we'll spend 9 wonderful nights traveling through the Italian Riviera and France. So without further ado, please welcome Brenda. And Brenda, thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Renee. I'm excited to be here. I have to say, I actually lived in the French Riviera. I lived for a short time in Saint-Tropez, France. And so I love this itinerary that you've chosen. I also lived in Firenze. From Saint-Tropez, I moved to Firenze, to Italy, and I'm a big fan of Italy too. So I'd like to think this itinerary is my second home. So I think you have chosen very well. And I think it's a great way to start off the summer by cruising on June 13th on our beautiful Equinox. So the Celebrity brand really is an award-winning resort at sea. And when you're thinking of cruising, I want you to think of it as a resort at sea. Just in the design of our ships, the experience on board, it really is a moving resort. And in my opinion, much better than staying in one hotel, one location. Staying in a beautiful resort that moves every day is amazing. So I'm going to show you a short little video. Now, this one was taken on board our newest ship, Beyond. But when you're thinking about Equinox, because that's the ship you're going to be cruising on, I'll talk about her shortly, but it's the same feeling. It's the same ambiance. You're visiting, more than one destination in one sailing. You can dine in a different restaurant every single night on board Equinox. Of course, the luxurious spaces, all the attention to detail, your well-being, and that great service. So take a little look at our luxury resort at sea. Does that make you want to go, Renee?
Oh, yes. We were on that ship, the Beyond, this past January, and it was gorgeous. Yes.
I know every time I get to watch all of the food and the drinks and the martini bar and massages, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And well, I'm kind of excited because next week on Wednesday, I'll be boarding our newest ship, the Ascent, which has just arrived over from Europe, and she's in the sister ship to Beyond. So I'm beyond excited to get on board and enjoy some nice weather. But whether you're on Ascent, our newest ship, Beyond, or any of our others, or of course the Equinox on the French and Italian Riviera next June, this is what matters most to our guests. And this is what we do on every single one of our ships. These are our pillars that we build all of everything that we do for our guests. One is the destination, and you'll see you're going to go to many different great ports of call. The culinary, we're award-winning in our culinary, and we're even elevating it more. And I don't know, Renee, if you've heard, but we're changing all our menus out. the end of November. So brand new menus, more variety, more choices, more flavor. So I'm pretty excited to be able to try those out, soon. And we have so many different gourmet delights for those that are diabetic, or maybe they're celiac or vegetarian. So we really truly have, really great culinary for all sorts of people with all sorts of different dietary needs. So I think that's great. Yeah. And then the service, our staff on board, they're so friendly and everybody's saying hi and they remember your names. And so you have impeccable service. And the design of the ships, our ships are almost like walking museums with millions of dollars worth of art. When you walk on board a Celebrity ship, it's kind of like a namaste. When you walk on board, it's a relaxed feeling, right, Renee?
It sure is, right from the get-go.
Yeah, like you're not walking on board and it's hustle and bustle and people and noise, and it's very relaxed. So that's a big difference, because our guests really start to feel that feeling of being in vacation mode right away. And plus it's so easy to get on and off our ships. Like boarding takes 5 minutes, it's super fast, and
Oh,
you can go to
yes,
your
it
stateroom,
is.
right?
Yes, so quick. And then that unpacking once, and then you're ready to go. So
Yeah.
relaxing.
And then the last thing, the well-being. And we have great spas on board, great fitness classes, and from yoga and stretching and Peloton and F45, all sorts of great spa treatments. So, your mind, your body, your culinary, your diet, everything can be incorporated into this great holiday. So with the Celebrity brand, I wanted you to meet the fleet because, maybe you're going to do this cruise and you're going to do another one too, hopefully. So our baby ships are the Millennium Series, and they're 91,000 tons. You see those on the left. There's 4 of those. And then we have the Solstice Series, 5. And these are state of the art. They all have the real grass on the upper decks. The Equinox, of course, is part of the Solstice Series. So 2,800 guests, 122,000 gross tons. And then the Edge Series is our newest series with Edge, Apex, Beyond, now Ascent. And we have a 5th one called Excel, which comes out in November of 25. And if you want to call Renee to book that, you can, because she's open for sale. So that's pretty exciting. And then on the bottom of the screen, we have our Galapagos. So if you're looking for a real adventure going to the Galapagos Islands, I like to call it our sea safaris. We have 3 different ships that you can choose from, 3 different experiences on how to get to the islands. Of course, the island experience is all the same. So that is our family. We continue to grow. And now we're going to talk about the feature today, which is beautiful Europe. Now, on this cruise, you're not going to Santorini, okay? This happens to be a picture of Santorini to wet your whistle for perhaps another cruise. But this just, when you look at this, this just exudes, of course, Europe. And we do have the best hardware in Europe. So by choosing this cruise with Renee, you're going to be on award-winning ships, not just our Edge Series ships, but our Solstice Series ships too, for everything from, most appealing ship to best suites to best atrium to best spa. So yes, we are award winning, and we continue to always elevate everything within our brand to make sure we keep winning these awards in the hearts of our customers. And then here's the beautiful Equinox that you're going to be sailing on June 13th to the 21st. And this is a great picture because it shows you the aft end of the ship. It shows you those sunset verandas. They're a little bit deeper, a little bit bigger when you're at the back of the ship. Of course, they're a little bit bigger, so they're a little bit more pricey too. Right up above that, you see an outdoor dining area and what we call our sunset bar. And truly, our sunset bars do have the best sunsets. And I love to be at the sunset bar on the top deck there. You can have your feet hanging in the grass while you're drinking a glass of wine, watching the sunset. We have musicians that play out there. So it's a really cool atmosphere. And if you look more forwards towards the X on the top of the ship, that's where we have a beautiful studio. It's a glass blowing studio, and that is very, very unique. So you get to watch artisans creating these wonderful glass sculptures. There's also cabanas there. We have a big screen so you can watch movies under the stars or during the day. And even if you want to take your towel and kind of lay out on the grass, you can do that too. And then moving more forwards, that's where we have our huge outdoor pool. And then we also have an indoor pool just forward of that, and that's for adults only. We do allow some family time at the end of the day, but during the day you have to be 16 or over. So it's a nice peaceful area. And then at the top of the ship at the front, because this ship is being revolutionized, that's where we have our private retreat sun deck. So our guests that are in the suite, so if you decide to book a suite, you have your own private sun deck area with some little slip-in jacuzzis and bartenders, pool butlers, food. So it's a lovely area. And then there's a basketball court at the front of the ship too. And I don't know, Renee, if you have any pickleball players, but we have pickleball on our ships now.
Oh, all of the ships? That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really popular.
Ships, except for Galapagos.
Right.
Yeah, so you'll be able to play pickleball on board. Okay, and then you see from the side of the ship, you see all of the verandas there. And the Solstice series and the Equinox, they have traditional verandas, and we'll take a little closer look. Here's the beautiful, beautiful, another view of the Solstice, series. So the Equinox with you can play bocce ball, you can play croquet, but you can see the cabanas and that beautiful lawn. It is real lawn, by the way. It's not turf. We do have groundskeepers. We do have green thumbs on board that keep the grass and all of our real plants alive. And then here's some other pictures. You see the beautiful swimming pool on resort deck. And there's a little smaller pool for kids. And then there's the adult pool. We don't have a lot of kids on board. We do have a few. I always like to say that Celebrity is really if you're traveling with your children, not for your children. So you'll see a few kids on board, probably not a lot at the time you're going because they're just starting to get out of school. But yeah, we're mostly an adult focused cruise line. You can see the beautiful spa area, those thermal heated chairs where you can relax before and after a spa treatment, or you can purchase passes for the day or for a few days to use those facilities. There's little hideaways to have coffees, and here's a close-up look, of course, at our cabanas. Those are available for rent. And dining on board. Well, I talked a little bit about culinary, but every night you have the large main dining room where you all can eat together if you want, or you can do anytime dining. So you can pick the time of dining you want to go in. You reserve everything on your app. We have the most amazing app that talks. You can even look at it as soon as you're deposited. You can start looking at the activities, purchasing short excursions, specialty dining, but the main dining, so we have main dining room for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have the Ocean View Cafe, which has casual breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Those are all at no cost. Then we have specialty dining, and on board the Equinox, we have beautiful Murano. That's like a French style a la table service, cloche service. Very, very lovely. And then we have Le Petit Chef, which is a 4D animated presentation. So you watch this presentation on the table, the food comes to life, and then the waiters bring out the plates that Le Petit Chef has prepared. Have you ever experienced that, Renee?
I watched it. I didn't experience it, but I watched it and thought it was fascinating how it all came alive on the table. I thought it was wonderful.
It's very cool. And there's a bunch of different menus. So you can go a couple different nights and experience different food and different shows. And I have to tell you, like, if you want to experience this, experience it on board our ships. I think in Toronto now they have a Le Petit Chef, and they're charging something like $200 per person to
Yes, I
attend,
saw that.
whereas we're like under $70. So it's
Yes.
like, it's crazy. And then
Cool.
Tuscan Grill. Tuscan Grill is Italian, simply amazing. And make sure you don't eat for half the day before you go to Tuscan Grill. Because like, it's, there isn't a nominal charge, but there's so much food, and it's all your steaks and Italian meatballs and yeah, lamb chops and tomahawk steaks. Like,
Wow.
yeah, Tuscan Grill is pretty good. So, well, they're all great. So you have lots of choices for dining and on board our ships. And like I mentioned, we can take care of any dietary needs. Just make sure you let Renee know so we can remark it in our in your booking. So
Right.
what about sleeping? Not that you're going to do a lot of it. You're going to be busy dancing, watching the great shows. As you saw, there's different shows every single night. They're phenomenal. Great entertainers, dancers, singers, novelty acts. You will be busy because you're in port for almost every day. But, when you come to your stateroom, you want to relax. And the Equinox was fully revolutionized. And so we brought tastes in from our Edge series into the Equinox. And so the stateroom decor, everything is just phenomenal. And this is a traditional veranda, and these are the ones that you have in your group block, right, Renee?
Yes, those are them. Yes, perfect.
Yeah. So that has the clear separation between your room and then the veranda. And yeah, everything's automated in your room. So very comfortable. A lot of people love our beds, and you'll have a great stateroom attendant that will be taking care of you. So those are the staterooms. And I would recommend one of those, or booking into higher retreat or something like that. I think you do have some outside and inside as well. So
Yeah,
outside
ocean
one,
view. Yeah.
ocean view, yeah, with the kind of window, and then, but it doesn't open. And then the inside, for those of you that sleep in your walk-in closet, then you'll feel right at home in one of those.
Yeah, no windows.
Is right.
But how fitting to see the sunset on your veranda like that. Woo, looking
Right.
forward to that. Having your morning coffee. It sounds perfect.
Yeah. No, like just, sailing in at a port, especially when you're arriving early, or maybe you're sailing out and you're still getting ready, and you can keep your blinds open and, not miss out on anything. So yes, so those are the accommodations, but pretty much like, Renee has a special group block with special group pricing. If you booked anything outside of that group block, it would be at whatever the prevailing rates are. So that is possible. Just keep that in mind. So now let's talk about the amazing itinerary. And when we're looking at this itinerary, like I said, this is like my backyard. So you're starting out in Barcelona on June the 13th. So you'll probably want to fly in the day before. I always suggest flying in 1 or 2 days before. Are you going to do any pre or post, or is everybody just going to do their own thing, Renee?
Well, we're hoping to have some pre, because I always recommend 2 days before, because you do fly through the night and then you have at least one full day to get in the time zone, relax, see some sights. So at least 2 days ahead. So you need 3 days ahead just to get that flight over with, and then have a couple of days. If nobody's been to Barcelona or post cruise been to Rome, it's definitely something that everybody should visit. So I am planning to do something. I just getting that all worked up now. So central location. Yeah.
Yeah. Our ship docks right downtown. Like, for those of you that are really good walkers, you could walk from the ship. I mean, I made my kids, when I took them, I don't know, I think it was like 4 years ago, we walked from kind of from the port all the way to La Sagrada Familia, and it was a long walk. And we took a cab back. They weren't too happy with me, but stopped along the way and drinks and food. And Barcelona has just incredible culture, incredible, affordable meals and museums, and you could go to the beach there. There's so much to see and do.
So
So
much.
I'd highly recommend coming in a couple of days in advance.
Yes, it just sends you off on your cruise with something behind you because you're not coming back to the same port afterwards. So it's really important to think about that,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and then you have a sea day to get to know your way around the ship, to kind of relax after your busy explorations in Barcelona and traveling. So you have that day to really chill on the ship and go to the spa and enjoy the pool and the shows, and then it starts to get busy. So
Yes.
we dock. So the next day we're in Marseille, which is in Provence, and that's where you get to do, bicycle trips through the lavender olive fields. There's trips where you can head out to Saint-Tropez as well. So there's a lot of different shore excursions for you to experience, and you can start looking at those online to see how you want to spend your day. We're there for a full day, so it's really great, and we're docked, so it's easy to get on and off the ship. The
Yes.
next port we're in is Villefranche, and this is one of my favorite ports in the whole world. I spent a lot of time there. We do tender, so we take the small ships, the small boats from the ship. We do use the local tenders there from Villefranche. It is such a beautiful port to sail into. One of my highly recommended things to do, if you like moules, if you like clams, go to a restaurant in Villefranche and have moules and frites. I do it
Yum.
time. They're so amazing, beautiful views, and it's a great little port. But from there, it's really the gateway. From there, you're going to take the trains. You can hop on the trains yourself. You can go to Monte Carlo. You can go to Cannes. You can go to Nice. We have lots of tours to perfumeries, to Ez. This is the launching pad to, that whole French Riviera is by being in Villefranche. And we are there until 7 p.m. So it gives you lots of time. You can go to Monaco as well and go visit the palace and see where the Formula One track is. So
Oh, yeah.
lots to do. Then the next day, you're in Santa Margherita in
Ooh.
Italy. This is one of our newer ports of call. We've been just going for a couple years. We introduced her, I think, with Edge, second year with Edge. This is a gem. I would go and stay there on a little vacation, as well as, visiting on a ship. So it's just not touristy. I mean, there are European tourists there, but besides our ship coming in, it's really quite amazing. The restaurants, the food, the beaches, the shopping. And from Santa Margarita, you can easily get to Portofino. So that's kind of a little side door for you to, do an excursion out to Puerto Rico, but not Puerto Rico, but Portofino.
Portofino.
Portofino, Italy. So there's quite a difference because Portofino, of course, is very rich, very expensive, whereas Santa Margarita is more for, everybody else that's not billionaires. So it's a beautiful port of call, one of my favorites. Then
Lovely.
the next day, you're in Florence, and we actually dock in Livorno. And as you can see, we're overnight. We're there for 2 days. So this gives you the opportunity to do lots of things. You can go to Pisa. You can go to Florence. You could even go into Florence, stay overnight in a hotel, and come back the next day. A lot of our guests like to do that. So that's not impossible because you can see how long you're there for. So
So
yeah,
many things.
so many things. Yeah.
Yes.
I do truly believe, like, going to see Pisa and then going into Florence is, what you're going to do. I mean, there's some guests that have cruised with us before that will just stay on the ship and go into Livorno. But for me, I used to live in Florence, and I would go every time into Florence because it's phenomenal. From the
Yes.
museums to the art to the shopping to the food. And then after those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of running around, you get a day of rest.
Phew.
cruising. You get a nice day to relax, to talk about all your shore excursions, your stories, and to regroup for the next day. Because the next day we dock in Naples. And Naples as well, it's the gateway to so many amazing places. And you can go to Pompeii, and you can even just explore Naples and do all the shopping, or you can go to Sorrento, or you can go to Amalfi from Naples. So we have all of these great tours, and some of them are really long if you're going to do Amalfi Coast and Sorrento and that. But you know, we do love for you to go out to Capri. It's one of my favorite islands off of Naples. It's just stunning. So you can go out, spend the day, go to the beach. You can take a tour, or we dock, like the ferries that go to Capri are right next door to where we dock. So you can even
Perfect.
hop on and go over yourself. So it's a very simple, and our shore excursion team on board, they help you out with all of that. But you have lots of time to explore and plan in
Yes.
advance.
Well, and when in Rome.
And when in Rome, and then the grand finale, yes, we dock in Civitavecchia, which is, well, it depends on your taxi driver, because I've had crazy taxi drivers that can get from the airport to Civitavecchia in like an hour, and when it really should take like an hour and a half. Crazy drivers. But no, we have safe transfers as well. But we
Right.
dock in Civitavecchia. So what I would suggest is ultimately, booking a hotel, getting off the ship, and then transferring to the hotel, and then exploring Rome for a couple of days. We do have some shore excursions that you can book if your flights are leaving later in the evening or late afternoon from Rome, where you can explore the Colosseum and St. Peter's Square. You can get some of the highlights out in a few hours, but you wouldn't do it justice. So plan in advance, book a hotel in Rome, and spend a couple days there, and then fly out. You won't be disappointed. So that
Yes.
is the itinerary, and it's pretty amazing. I would go
Just
back again tomorrow.
That's just fantastic. So, for our Red Orchid Women's Travel Club, we actually do spend a couple of days in Rome, and then we have a 2 week land tour with just the ladies. We send the men home, and the ladies, if can continue on. So we will be taking advantage of Italy for
Oh,
sure.
okay. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. All ladies in Rome running around the countryside. That's good.
Yeah. What happens in Rome?
Stays in Rome.
Yes.
Yeah. So this itinerary, I was doing some checking before this presentation, and currently right now, the pricing that Celebrity is offering, like today, is 1,000 more per person than what Renee has in the group block for the same category. So this is how valuable it is to book inside of Renee's group block. So Renee, do you want to talk about all the inclusions for your group?
Sure. We have a few amenities in there that are of great interest. We have our classic beverage package. We have Wi-Fi and the gratuities included, which is fabulous. We also have an onboard credit of $100 per person. But like Brenda just said, the pricing is hugely different. That's because we book ahead and get our group going. So it's advantageous for all of our clients to jump on board, literally, and take advantage of the savings. So now Celebrity doesn't include in the groups going forward the gratuities, whereas we have those included now in our group. They're grandfathered in, right?
Mhm.
So just that alone, as well as the savings of the pricing for current fit pricing, you'll save a lot of money joining our group. And there's also other little amenities along the way that are sweet surprises, and I won't even mention those yet.
Isn't it wouldn't be a surprise, right?
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, so the veranda stateroom you see in Renee's group is like 3,059 Canadian per person. And when I was looking today, it was over $4,000 per person.
Yes,
So you are saving. And
a lot.
because you're all part of Renee's family and we're doing this presentation now, this fits in great with our Black Friday event because we have this show offer, and the piece that I really want you to look at is that center line that says bonus $300 USD onboard credit per stateroom. So if you really want to go on this cruise with Renee and you're excited about it, make sure you call her and you deposit between today and December 1st. Why? Because you're going to get that additional $300 USD onboard credit. This is a gift from the Canadian sales team to any of our Canadians that are booking between now and December 1st. So if you call Renee on December 2nd and said, oh, I was busy and I missed, yes, you did miss. You missed $300 that you could have used on short excursions. So really important that you let her know, because remember, your deposits are totally refundable. So if you're depositing, at least you know you're locking in your stateroom, that
Yes.
price, and that $300 onboard credit.
Yes. Also, a lot of people think, what should I do with my onboard credits? Well, there's so much you can do with your onboard credits. Like you said, the shore excursions, you can go to the spa. There's just the shore excursions alone, rolling through the itinerary a minute ago, you can see how many wonderful little side trips that you can do. And the ship offers such a great variety that you can put that shore excursion or the credits towards your shore excursions.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. And you can use it for casino or specialty dining.
Yes.
So there's lots of things to use it for. And we often have, like right now, we're doing, we have a Black Friday promotion, even for booking the pre-cruise things, like there's savings up to 50% off for people who are already booked and deposited and they want to get going booking their shore excursions. Everything's on sale right now. So it's kind of good. So once again, within the group, you're getting that great group price that Renee has on her group. You're going to get that $300 USD onboard credit. And if you also deposit by December 1st, you're going to get an additional Black Friday savings of up to $227 Canadian per person. And that's on top of the group price that Renee has. So honestly, really talk it over now. And like I mentioned, your deposit is fully refundable. Take advantage of this because we can't get it after this. And for those of you that are interested in maybe booking Alaska, Caribbean, or another Europe departure, this Black Friday event that you see in front of me here, you can book that as well, in addition to going on Renee's group. And that pricing, so when you're seeing this BOGO 75, so 75% off the second passenger, that's for our regular FIT pricing. And you're also going to get that $300 onboard credit, and you're also going to get the savings. But it must be on anything 5 nights or longer, Alaska, Caribbean, or Europe in a veranda category or higher. Yes. So new bookings only. So November 22nd to December 1st. That's the magic number, Renee, for
yes, it is.
For people depositing. So I think that is it. We will close with a beautiful picture of Cinque Terre there. I'm not sure if that's a Reggiamo or Manolo, but that's another great place that you have access to when you're on your trip in the French Riviera, Italian Riviera from Livorno. So
yes.
Thanks, Renee, again for having me here.
Thank you, Brenda. I really appreciate your time. And if you've thought of going to the Mediterranean, you know, the time is now. If not now, when? So I would invite you to contact me, give me a call. My information is located on the website. My email is Renee at redorchidtravel.com. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we'll see you soon.
Bon voyage.
Bon voyage.